How's it going, everyone? Nathan coming back at you with another Showdown Live. Last time we did a whole sort of long team building seminar essentially on what I think is interesting about it and how it kind of encapsulates what makes Monotype so interesting in general. But today for our Monotype Showdown Live, I'm going to be building some hyper offense instead of the bulky offense we built yesterday. It's going to be pretty quick. I just want to do it really just as a demonstration sort of thing. And also I didn't want to get some more games in. Hyper offense is famous for having quick high tempo games, and we only had one in on yesterday's live, so this should speed up the pace quite a bit. So in terms of building a dark hyper offense, again, you can use any sort of those 11 mons I highlighted freely, and in fact there's actually lots of other ones you can use too. But in terms of what I think is important to start off with, I quite enjoy a crocodile as a lead, as a sash lead. So we're gonna go with a focus sash. Probably gonna go with intimidate, I guess. Moxie's still very good, but I think I'm gonna go with intimidate here. And we're gonna do earthquake, we're gonna do taunt, we're gonna do knockoff, we are going to do stealth rock, of course. So with this speed tier, it's okay. We can deny other rocks as long as it's a slower rocker. We can get up our own, and we can more importantly start breaking right away. Quite effective initial rocker, and it's also just a good Pokemon. There's gonna be lots of matchups we come up against where I'm gonna go, this Crocodile is really good. I'm gonna keep it in store. I'm not gonna just suicide sash it and get a Brox. So it'll be a fine Pokemon here. The other lead that is a huge highlight of HO on Mono Dark is gonna be a Grimmsnarl, one of the better screen setters in the game, of course, with Prankster. Prankster is so good, and I'm actually going to try to highlight some of the other aspects of Prankster besides the screens, but we do have to put on light screen and reflect, in my opinion, and you are kind of forced to run Spirit Break. But what I'm hoping we can kind of demonstrate a little bit is how good Thunderwave is, because again, similar to that Crocodile, there's going to be matchups where I go, okay, Prankster Thunderwave is really good on Grimmsnarl. I'm going to keep my guy alive until I need that. So something to keep an eye out on, and now we're going to get into our offensive Pokemon. So we're going to want setup sweepers, and we're going to want a cleaner, and we're going to want breakers. And when it comes to setup sweeper, we didn't get to use it last time, and it is very common, at least in the sort of tournament scene. I'm going to be using Moltres Galar here. It's a very interesting breaker with its unique Berserk ability, but also because it's a dual dance user, which I've highlighted before, and I think it's very interesting and very flexible, which is going to be super helpful when we're coming up against all different kinds of weird teams. Not to mention Fiery Wrath is broken. Do we go for Hurricane or Air Slash here? Hurricane or Air Slash? I think Hurricane, why not? And then speed tier, I guess I'll do that. I want to hit it hard as possible. And as terms of now where do I go from here? I want another setup sweeper, and I'm tempted to Urshifu with black glasses because I'm hard pressed to build any sort of dark type team that doesn't do Urshifu. So I'll come back to it on what exactly sort of set I'm going to be using for it, but it's obviously going to include Wicked Blow and close combat. My inclination right now is to do bulk up and sucker punch. I think that's quite good, and then I can throw on like the Choppleberry. Dark glass is very good too, but I think Choppleberry is just hype. So I'll throw that on. Just as a placeholder for now. Then, yeah, not very unique either, but Hydreigon. I mean, I just love me a Choice Specs Hydreigon. Super strong. Hydreigon, you often see it Scarf or Nasty Plot or all kinds of stuff on these sorts of teams. But Choice Specs is rarely used, but I think it's actually quite effective, especially with the coverage of Dark Press, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Draco Meteor. I'm probably going to throw in U-Turn over one of these moves. I'm not sure which one. Inclined to do Dark Pulse, but it's such a good breaking move in general. Maybe with a Flamethrower or Flash Cannon. I don't need U-Turn, of course. I don't know where I'm leaning right now, but I do want to break the fairies. I do want to break the steals. I'll do Flash Cannon. Dark Pulse will cover us fine with the steals. We'll do that, and then respects. We're 2 at KOing all the steals. What am I talking about? Yeah, that's quite fine. Now I want a bit of a cleaner. We used Weavile before, which is not super exciting. I would like some sort of speed control. In terms of cleaners, actually, I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I'm sure that the idea of Sharpedo would work really well here. If you just did like a Life Orb, just a basic set like this, I'm sure it'd be very effective. Its Life Orb set hits surprisingly hard. I think we don't often credit it for having 120 attack. It's, you know, almost hitting 400. Good coverage moves in general. Always appreciate water coverage, so I think I kind of like that. It's not a very flexible cleaner, which I dislike, you know? There's not gonna be a lot of situations where it's coming in on a revenge kill because you have to protect, and then your opponent can anticipate that. It's very obvious what it's doing. So I'm just for unique factor, I'm gonna do that, but I would not be surprised if I come back to this very quickly. You know, I have a terrible game one, and I change it to like a Scarf Zarude who's still very competent and still a useful grass type mon or something like that. But this seems like a fine start for me for now. Let's get going into it here with this sort of very quick hyper offense build here. Builds for me rarely really take less than 5 minutes, but you already just broke down what makes it so easy and sort of, you know, mix and match in terms of team building. Not a lot to go with here, and hyper offense is quick to build to begin with, so I'm not surprised it didn't take us very long. I generally prefer a bit of bulky offense with the other teams because I think so many of these mons like Mandibuzz and Hydreigon and Tyranitar really lend themselves towards that. But this is quite good too, as we're going to come up against a pretty balanced looking mono flying. As we kind of climb up the ladder, we're seeing more and more mono flying, of course, which isn't a surprise. It's in contention for one of the best monotypes to run right now. Very flexible, heavy duty boots is just done in all kinds of favors. But first we have to ask ourselves, who are we going to see off the rip right now? And I kind of like Skarmory as a lead from them, if I had to predict that. So I could go for Crocodile as they go Landorus Therian. So maybe they're going for Stealth Rocks right off the rip. I should be faster though. I'm worried about a Scarf U-turn. In fact, I look at their team, I don't see a lot of Scarfers, and I could go to Grimmsnarl, who's neutral to it instead of weak like Crocodile, or I could just take the free rocks they're giving me, or I can knock off whoever they go to here. They probably realize that they can beat me with their Thunderous Therian. Don't want to, or I can taunt the Landorus too. That's the thing. I don't think I taunt the Landorus. Skarmory could be the rocker. It could also be, this could be a defensive pivot Landorus with rocks. It could be Skarmory with spikes. That's for sure a possibility. And maybe a Scarf Thunderous. That's definitely possible. But my personal read in the situation is that it's a heavy duty boots Thunderous Therian. It's a Scarf Landorus, and they're going to U-turn on me right now. It's kind of a lazy lead. It's very, very common. And who would you go to in that case? And do I want Stealth Rocks that badly? I am unsure. I think there's probably boots on you, probably boots on you, and you. There's probably 4 boots users. I don't know if I need Stealth Rocks that much. I think I'd rather take the knockoff on what I'm guessing is going to be Thunderous Therian. If they have Grass Knot, that's assumed. That's a big assumption. They go to Skarmory instead. So the knockoff's actually not bad. 17%. There goes the leftovers. I'll taunt you right now. No rocks for you. Body press probably coming out, so we're probably going to die to that body press right now, and that's fine. Crocodile got up rocks. We got some intel on both our opponents, Landorus and Skarmory. It's done its job as far as I'm concerned. The question is going to be afterwards, do we go to the Grimmsnarl or do we go to Hydreigon? I am not positive. The only have Iron Head is just also interesting because now I can go to my Moltres Galar very freely. You're still taunted. That's fine damage as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully they don't have Toxic actually, but I'll Nasty Plot right now. Who are they going to click? Is a Defog? Ooh, they really want those off. Do I Agility? Do I Fiery Wrath? I don't think they Iron Head again. I think almost everyone knows about Berserk. The question is if they swap out. They'll take the Fiery Wrath right now. Take the kill in front of me. Probably a Thunderous Therian coming out right now. They go Landorus instead. Definitely Scarf. Definitely threatening a Stone Edge, which does concern me. So I think I will go to my Grimmsnarl on that. Moltres Galar has still got lots of gas in the tank there as they reveal Rock Slide instead. That's kind of fun. I could Spirit Break, a swap in. Who do you swap into if you're my opponent right now is the question. I'd have a hard time guessing that if I'm them. Maybe the Thunderous Therian. Maybe they just keep blasting. I wouldn't be surprised if they realize there's nothing great here and they just keep attacking. Well, then I'll Light Screen if you're going to go to your Zapdos then. As a Toxic, that's okay. I think I might Spirit Break actually. As they swap out to Mantine. We get that drop. Let's go to our... You're going to Scald me, man? I don't think you got it in you. I don't think you roost here either. You might defog, if anything. Yep, that's exactly the case. So thank you for the free swap in on my Urshifu then. Who do you go to afterwards? Maybe a Hurricane on Zapdos? Their Volt Switch, that's odd. Volt Switch on Zapdos. A little bit surprised by that. I think I'll just take the Wicked Blow chip here on Landorus Therian. Yeah, we're just going to ignore all that Intimidate you got for us here. And I can probably clean that up with the Sucker Punch, I believe. -1 attack. Might be a little bit close. 71 to 20. Yeah. I like our odds. As they go to Zapdos, good on them. If they've got Hurricane, now would be the time to reveal it right now. And they're not Choice Locked Zapdos, are they? This will be a good bit of intel right now. You know, Crocodile not doing too much. I'm glad I kept it as a possible sack option, but I'll be interested to see as they Toxic. Did they Toxic then Volt Switch earlier? I'm not even sure. But we'll find out right now. As I go for another Stealth Rock here. We are faster, so definitely defensive set. We get rocks up. That's pretty handy. They do have Volt Switch, and I will go to my Hydreigon here, probably. I could get up another screen. That's for sure. I think Hydreigon's good here, honestly, and I still don't see a good Dark Pulse swap in. I really dislike mono flying teams that don't have Zapdos Galar. This is a great example of it. A single Scarf Zapdos Galar would kind of tear us apart. So I think it's a bit of a mistake on my opponent's part. I'm going to Dark Pulse here for only 42, so actually some surprising Spadef, all things considered. You must have Roost, so maybe you're not as Fizdef as I really gave you credit for. So let's go to... I could get a flinch, actually. That's a 30% chance that would really help us win. No, we don't get it. Do I go for a second one? Taking 18% already. No, I'm not going to. We'll bait the Volt Switch here. Grimmsnarl should live that fine, although maybe not with the Toxic now that I consider everything. No, we just barely do, so that's one sort of suicide screen up right now. If they go to Mantine, I'll probably swap out again, because Mantine puts no offensive pressure up. In fact, I bet we see Mantine, if I'm being honest. Maybe a Landorus. They go to Thundurus though, interesting. So I'm definitely going to take that late screen right to the bank as they opt for Substitute. Good call on their part, that's for sure. But I still got Hydreigon, who I don't love in that situation. With the light screen support though, Hydreigon's not terrible. I could definitely do that. Zapdos can't really swap in. Urshifu I could go for sure. We do have Chople Berry, so I'm okay with Focus Blast, I think. I think I'll go for this. A couple Wicked Blows. As long as we got light screen support in addition to Chople Berry, I think Urshifu is really the play right now. Dragonite at this stage of the game is starting to concern me. I thought we could have started breaking things a little bit sooner. Rising Voltage, you psycho. That's going to help them against mono electric matchups a ton. I think that's so cool. No swap in for this Wicked Blow. This Urshifu is definitely going to take us into the late game here. No, I'm not messing around with you at all, man. Drop your Focus Blast, please. Drop your SoundCloud below. As they substitute again, I believe Wicked Blow is going to be a 2-hit KO on the Skarmory. They're trying to drain my light screen turns, I guess. Fair enough. That works. They are faster than us, which is vexing. Mantine, easy KO. We're keeping rocks up then. But we still have 3 turns of light screen, which they kind of drained, but at the expense of their Thundurus at this point. Who was leftovers actually, so they're nearly dead at this stage. We kind of tank you. Is it worth going for a bulk up first? I'd say so. You're gonna go for a Toxic here, that's fine. As you Roost instead, okay, we kind of called them out there. And they were so Spadef, I knew that they would do a ton of damage there. That's awesome, but we're actually out of Wicked Blow PP. I barely tracked that whole thing. So close combat's not very good at all. I'm relying on some Sucker Punch at this stage of the game. I'm gonna go for a close combat right now, just to break the sash. It's still doing 26%, that's quite noticeable. Now it's 50-50 on whether they... Oh, I thought they were gonna Dragon Dance there. Caught me off guard. At this stage though, Sharpedo's gonna be able to clean up pretty easily. So we've set the stage for our cleaner nicely. We'll just Galar, do I go for you right now? I could even clean with you if I'm being honest. I could go for an agility sort of thing, but I think this is definitely the stage for Hydreigon right now. Go for, if they're dual wing beat, I don't think they're normally running dragon moves. They could be. It's hard to judge with move selection on Monotype. I think I do Hydreigon. I think I Dark Pulse for some chip. Just get them in range of either of these two being able to kill. And then if we die to someone afterwards, that's fine. So let's go for that right now. I think Specs Hydreigon super underrated. I think it's a good breaker, for being honest. As they Roost instead, interesting. We do kind of outpace them because they're not leftovers. And this will KO the next time, but boy, I was surprised to see that. So maybe they're like Heal Bell, because I've seen a Heal Bell Roost Dragonite before. It is interesting. I don't know, hard to say. They don't have a swap in, of course. Rocks are gone, so Thundurus Therian is dying to a loose sneeze. That's absolutely the case. Lander's gonna come in and threaten a U-turn. D-Knight's obviously dual wing beat. Do I sack this guy and then just go for the win with Sharpedo? If you U-turn and you go to your Dragonite, you should be U-turning right now. So you U-turn, go to your Dragonite. You're at 4% afterwards. I go to my Sharpedo and I crunch. No, I think I would go to my Moltres and just go for an attack. Go for maybe a nasty plot. I don't know. Kind of gets weirdly dicey. I'm gonna assume they're U-turning and do this. This play works. If they had Rock Slide, it would have gotten kind of nasty. This works just fine. So here comes Dragonite. I'll Fiery Wrath on you, my guy. Take you out. Landers comes in, 4%. Sharpedo really didn't get to flex much in that game, but that's kind of the win con I was playing around the whole time. I was very confident that we'd be able to take it out there. And, you know, had lots of things gone differently, then Sharpedo still would have been able to clean just fine. That protect on my part was completely unnecessary, which is funny. Let's get another game here. We're about 15 minutes in. Good display so far. Mono flying a very solid type there, but I was a bit disappointed to not see the Zapdos Galar on their part. I think it's just so good. Even if you're running balance, it's kind of like I was talking about with Weavile. You still want a bulky offense. It synergizes so well with what the rest of your team does. Helps against those steel types. Helps you just annihilate a lot of swap-ins next to Thunderous Kick and thanks to its high defenses. Defiant helping with defogs. I think it's just a really solid mon as far as monotypes is concerned. It's also completely needed on mono fighting. And Mono Fairy, interesting team, very offensive looking, very scary looking between two belly drum users, although Slurpuff could also run spikes, remember right? I should look that up. I don't know what Slurpuff can do. It's a webs lead, that's it. That's what I wanted to look up there. Because I doubt they have two belly drum users. So, obviously leading Crocodile, which they predict very cleanly. Very cleanly. And I haven't brought up at this point that we are hard pressed to win this one. They've got two Dazzling Gleam users, one Play Rough user, probably another Dazzling Gleam user in Klefki. So this is definitely going to be tricky. I will knock off. I would have loved to use Save Your Taunt for later down the road, but I'm fighting for my life right now. Specs gone. Not that it mattered. They could run any item. They could run Oron Berry in this Tapu Lele. They would still rip me apart. Sharpedo definitely going to be in need in this game, but Tapu Bulu there. Never mind. Tapu Bulu completely walls our Sharpedo because it could do great otherwise. It's going to be so good otherwise. Damn it. I want to keep Crocodile at this point, especially for a threat for the Tapu Koko, but that's going to do nothing here. In terms of beating Mono Fairy, Mono Dark is best served with the HO team like this, but it's still not good by any means. I can't even go for any priority right now, so the lack of Scarfer is really hurting. I might go Sharpedo right now, but it's obviously baiting and protect, so they could really, if they don't go Tapu Bulu, they'll be very disappointed in their play. Yeah, that's exactly what they go for there. Tapu Bulu, let's go to, they might not have a fairy move. Mulch Galar, I guess it's the point where I should go to Mulch Galar, if any. I want to go to Grimmsnarl, but okay, that's fine, that's fine. I can agility here, for sure. I'm surprised I didn't go to Tapu Koko, actually. As they reveal Stone Edge, that's why. Life Orb, right. Boy, I hope this one's over quickly. Flash Cannon can probably do it at this point. Glad I kept that on over Flamethrower. They could go to a Azumarill, but Azumarill's probably 2 KO'd anyway, as long as we're specs. That's nice. I'm just fighting to not get 6-0'd at this point, if I'm being honest. Later, there's the Koko there. This is gonna die. We'll see what the set is, though. Okay, that's nice. I can get up a light screen. Maybe I can live one with, like, someone else at this point. To 28. Let's go for the Reflective Boot. Why not? And then you're 4 times weak to Dazzling Gleam. I can't go to you. So are you. I have to go to Sharpedo, which baits in the Tapu Bulu. I'm gonna do this and send it on a double switch on the Tapu Bulu here. If they get me, they get me. That's the way of a warrior. Let's go to Klefki instead. Good play on their part. Good little mid ground. Now Light Screen is doing. Now our Flash Hand's doing nothing, which is so rough. And they probably still have a fairy move. I almost guarantee they have at least one fairy move, which would still do solid damage to our Hydreigon. If I had caught a Bulu on one of those swaps, I swear we're actually in a good spot with our Sharpedo, but our opponents knows what they're doing. There's no way they're going to sack their Bulu, their most important Pokemon, for dealing with Sharpedo here. Tapu Koko's neutral to Flash Cannon, so it's only taking 33%. That makes sense. Light Screen's still up for 3 turns, right? Yeah. No, ours is gone. That's right. Oh, we are dead. We are dead as a doorknob. It's looking like waterfall flinches. Way to go. Do I sack Urshifu and keep Hydreigon to sweep later on? I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. Also, Azumarill actually really walls us now that I look at it. Azumarill's not good either. Send it. I think that is specs. Well, we double swap before, but I'll go for this here. They might risk it, knowing that they have the reflect to give them some insurance. It's pretty over. It's pretty over. Mono Fairy is about as bad as it gets for this matchup. Mono Fighting I much prefer, to be honest. We have some tools to deal with Mono Fighting, but oh well, that's the way of Monotype. Again, I always think that's a benefit of Monotype in general, is that these are easy L's to hold. Fine, I lost. You know, it's kind of a perfect 50-50. Either I win and it's the greatest win of all time, or I lose and it's like, whatever. That's fine. It was Scarf. Damn, you son of a bitch. You got me. Huh, I'm surprised. The Scarf Coco is really rare. It was definitely more common in Gen 7. And I always enjoyed like the Brave Bird, Wild Charge, U-Turn sort of Scarf sets, but fair enough. We're gonna go against Mono Ghost though. Really, really advantageous matchup for us. That's Karma kind of paying us back right now. I'll go to you because I fear... Okay, I don't know what I was fearing, but it wasn't Dragapult off the rip. Let's go for a knockoff turn one as they substitute. Yeah, well, I don't know what you think you're doing here, but you're not setting up on my Crocodile. Dragon Darts is going to take out half our health. Mimikyu is their big matchup to watch out for, and that's a problem with Ghost, is that Mimikyu does help against Dark types, but you're going to King Shield, man? They don't. Are they weakness policy? They were. Okay. Swords Dance. I could have taunted. I think I might still live a Shadow Sneak, though. We'll see. We do. That's what I thought. Sorry, the thing with Mimikyu is like Mimikyu is of course really important to this matchup because the play rough is super effective on dark types. But it's so inconsistent, right? You are, as soon as your disguise breaks, you're not great. Your setup super kind of a one and done. It's not like a consistent threat that can come in and consistently threaten fairy types. Our opponent's upset about that, but again, it's a dark type on a base 40 power Shadow Sneak. I don't know what you want from us there. There's the Mimikyu. We're gonna see another Shadow Sneak. I'm not sure, but do I want to keep this guy as a sack? I'll taunt. It's fine. This is, if we're going to lose the game, it's going to be off of that sucker. So I'm going to Thunder Wave, or a possible to one of these guys. So I think keeping Grimmsnarl healthy is going to be really important here. Just can continually go for those, except it actually just kills us with the play rough. My bad. That's fine. That was, if we're going to lose a game, it's probably going to be to that Mimikyu there. Now, who is the least important? Because it's going to probably get off one more play rough, if we're being honest. I could go for a flinch with Sharpedo. I like Sharpedo in this matchup, all things considered, but that's fine. Oh, I gotta... No, I don't. Paraflinch, decent chance. They can't swap into it too comfortably. This is a 2-hit KO. It should be. They can go for a Thunder Wave here, but if I care that much... is there a better swap in for it? Not really. As they recover instead, okay. Fair enough. I can crunch, lower your defense. So they don't recover that time. That's fine. We're super fast. We do still have super effective crunch. I think we're pretty well situated. Mimikyu, we are risking the Paraflinch still, so I think we're in a good spot. Drain Punch Mimikyu. I wonder what they're giving up for that. Well, I'll go for the flinch. Why not? 20% chance. I'll take it. Still gonna be a 2-hit KO pretty much. I guess they could go for a Giga Drain off the rip, but I'm so fast. There's no way they're doing that. Except they're not even sashed. They get the disable though. Good for them. So that's gonna be Mimikyu as a result. I'll still break their stash though, which is nice. And with 2 mons left and my 3 dark types left, I don't really see a way that we lose this at this stage. As they go for the Drain Punch, they get it all back. Get on you. But I do still have a Wicked Blow waiting for you right here, my guy. Don't think you're gonna be able to tank this one, and neither will your friend Driftbloom there. So we get 2 matchups that aren't really greatest displays of the typing. It's just kind of like, all right, you win that one, all right, you lose that one. So let's get one more here. They're Mono Ghost. This one's a sample team, but wow, I just really don't get to show off a neutral matchup, do we? I guess we had the flying one, so that's fine. In terms of matchups to watch out for, definitely this Corsola Galar. Is there any reason I wouldn't want to lead my Crocodile, though, now that I look at it? I believe you are some sort of choice locked Aegislash. I believe you are... No, what was the Aegislash? It was Swords Dance Aegislash. It was some mixture of these two are choice scarfed. I know people mess with that all the time, so I'm not going to predict one way or the other, which is Specs and which is not. They could also be, you know, Sub, Wisp, Hex, or Nasty Plot, or whatever, and this guy could also be Heavy Duty Boots and Calm Mind, but just going off the sample team, it's likely that these two are some combination of choice Specs and choice Scarf. Your standard Corsola Galar, your standard Mimikyu, and probably a Dragon Dance Dragapult, so another advantage matchup for us right here. This is actually not bad, because I can go for a knockoff here. I'm curious to see if they go for a Swords Dance. If I taunt, that'd probably be the better play, but I'll go for this. If they Swords Dance, that's not great because I'll be able to kill them. So I think this is fine. If they just play rough me into a possible Shadow Sneak, I will swap out to Sharpedo. Or they can also run Drain Punch like the last person was, but Drain Punch, I think you give up too many useful moves. You're either giving up Shadow Sneak or whatever, and they miss the play rough. That's really rough. Pun intended. And I'll go for a second one here. That's really sucky. Play rough is an annoying move there. It's only doing 56 too, thanks to that Intimidate. That's crazy. And I'll go for a second one here. That's fine. Now I can go to my Shifu is faster. Yeah, why not? Wicked Blow. So again, most important Pokemon out. I did want to get a Brox with Crocodile for sure, especially to limit that Blacephalon. Really put a timer on Gengar and Dragapult too, but Mimikyu, I think if we were going to have trouble in this game, it was going to be Mimikyu, and I obviously couldn't swap out on a possible Swords Dance into a Play Rough sweep. That was just not good. And Mimikyu speed tier, we talked about how we don't have a lot of speed with our Dark types beyond like kind of our Sharpedo and obviously Weavile. But Mimikyu's in a speed tier where it could really threaten almost this whole team except for Hydreigon. So glad we got that done. Gengar, interesting. I think you're choice locked, and I think I Sucker Punch you, man. Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, it's not a lot my opponent can do here. That's kind of Monotype in a nutshell. And as they go to Corsola Galar now, don't think you tank Wicked Blow, even though I'm not banded. Except they do. I'm stand corrected. And they missed the Wisp. Guaranteed forfeit in 3, 2, 1. Never mind, our opponent has some cojones. I admire that. They're going for it despite the bad luck. That's the worst thing. When you're in a bad type matchup and you're followed with just some bad luck to boot. What can you really do there? They're subbing up. We're low on Wicked Blow PP yet again. I swear I've never Wicked Blowed so much in my life as I have this one live, but newsflash, it's good. Base 80 power move that always crits. I love it. But honestly, they could just crit my Urshifu with a Draco Meteor right now and kill it, and I'd still be completely situated. Hydreigon is going to be able to handle anything Blacephalon can throw at it. Aegislash I can handle with any combination of these mons, with the possible exception of Grimmsnarl. And I do mean possible. So I think we're in a good spot. They do not get the double crit that they would need to kill us with Dragon Darts. But now maybe they can kill with the Specs Blacephalon. Do I give it to them or do I just Sucker Punch? I'm not going to give it to them. No holds barred. So pretty quick 12-turn game here. Or even an 11-turn game. But that's the matchup. That's Monotype, and that's Dark types, more importantly. We've kind of highlighted it over these 2 lives. I hope you guys learned something. We got lots more games in this time than we did in the last time. But most importantly, let me know what you want to see next on the next live. I know that Mono Fighting was... I know that Mono Fighting was always being close up as a runner-up. But you know, Grass sneaking up there. There's always Dragon as a possibility, and even some like sleepers. Like Dark was like 5th in the voting last time before it got voted all the way up. So let me know what you want to see. There's all kinds of great typings out there, and I'm not going to rest until they're all done. So let's keep up the momentum here. Thank you guys so much for watching, regardless though, and I'll see you next time.